When Jesus was asked what the greatest of the commandments was, he said it is the love of God, and the second one resembles it. It is the love of neighbor as we love ourselves. We will explore the commandments, how we should love our neighbor as ourselves. The sixth commandment, you shall not commit adultery. There is a thought process that has been adopted by many African people for some years now, and this is the belief that you must have sex with a girl before knowing if she is someone you should marry. This belief has lingered for so long that it's incredible that people have not realized how dangerous this line of thinking is. Suppose a man believes the only way to confirm that a woman can be a wife is by how sexually satisfying he finds her. In that case, he can never truly love her and will never consider love essential to marry a wife and start a family. Many people attest that one of the most significant reasons for divorce revolves around sex. Should this be any surprise? How possible is it to go from being chronically promiscuous to being a faithful husband or wife? How does that work? The mind has not been disciplined to look beyond the physical beauty of a woman, and women come in different figures and can be attractive to one man in different shapes. This undisciplined mind stirs the heart and emotion in a corrupt manner to yearn for sexual gratification, and sexual gratification is a mundane need that can never be satiated. When your heart yearns for the insatiable that an undisciplined mind has fed, its consuming passion destroys your soul, and it becomes challenging to love God in your would-be wife. When you find it difficult to love God in your would-be wife, you find it almost impossible to love your wife. When you find it impossible to love your wife, you begin to believe that love is not needed for marriage. And because your would-be wife suffers from what you are suffering from and believes the same thing, God has already been kicked out of your relationship. It doesn't matter how frequently you go to church or you go to pray in the four walls of your home. Your failure in a godly relationship with each other is the failure to secure a relationship with God. And this failure is a result of the absence of love. Many people have embraced the sin of fornication, but fornication is also some form of adultery. Think about it this way. Adultery is when a man and a woman have exchanged vows and promised each other faithfulness no matter the circumstances before God, and decide to break those vows by going to have illicit relationships with other people that they have never exchanged these vows with. They know they have no vows binding them to this person and don't owe this person any commitment. Fornication, on the other hand, is when a man and a woman who have not made any vows before God and to one another do not owe each other any commitments or promises binding on them and can leave at any time. They have illicit relationships with each other, and then when the relationship crumbles, as it usually does, they expect someone they met down the line to exchange vows with them. Fornication and adultery are the same. They only happen at different ends of the timeline. The command is not to have sex with someone not your wife or husband. Your girlfriend or boyfriend is not married to you. The moment you fornicate, you have committed adultery in advance against whom you marry. Yes, you commit adultery against each other even if you wind up marrying each other. An unmarried couple is two different people. A married couple is one before God. Now, from this oneness in the love of neighbor and the love of God, comes forth life transmitted in little children. This is the culmination of the commands to be fruitful and multiply when God created human beings, male and female. This is the only function of sex. The pleasure that comes from it is dividend for your spiritual work in having sex. This is a covenant before God. Let's say a girl has a boyfriend. It doesn't matter if she's sexually active with him or not. When she catches this man having sex with another woman, she tends to say her boyfriend cheated on her. She is absolutely wrong to say this. It will be the same thing if it were reversed. The boyfriend catches the girlfriend with another man. Neither cheated on the other. It would only be cheating if this happened after they were married. It can never be cheating because you have not exchanged vows to be faithful before God. Your union is in God, not in your comments from a lascivious state of mind. Consider what many men say to a girl they get pregnant: abort the baby. Would he ever say this if he ever loved the girl? What about the baby? He was so engrossed in having sex that the baby that came about deserved to die. How is this love? The baby never asked to be conceived. Now has to die because it will inconvenience you. Now you have to break the 5th commandment right after breaking the 6th commandment because you failed to love. Can this scenario also be worse than the girl who has set her heart and mind to kill off a baby so that she can continuously violate the 6th commandment, all in the name of feeling liberated? Liberation in what form, I would ask? Breaking the sixth commandment is one of the obvious ways you can see how breaking any of the commandments violates love your neighbor as yourself. Have you watched any of the episodes of the show Cheaters? And I refer to the shows of the married man or woman caught with another man or woman, not the other relationships unapproved by God. Do you hear the pain in the voice of the one cheated on? Do you see the pain on their face? I have some suggestions if you watch those particular episodes and do not understand how wrong it is. Firstly, never get married. And secondly, in addition to the first, seek prayers. Once you love your wife, your love will flow abundantly to your children together. And when this happens, the tendency to have a more loving society is secure.